Hello, math students. This lesson is over section 1.3, and we have a few learning targets to go over today. This section is called Linear Equations in Two Variables. Let's define our key terms here before we get started. So slope, there's 4 different kinds of slope possible. First is a positive slope. So if you're graphing, the slope is going to go upward, be increasing. Negative slope you're going to go downward, so it would be decreasing. A zero slope would be a horizontal line, and then an undefined slope would be a vertical. Okay. Slope-intercept form is given by the equation y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Point slope form is given by y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Again, m is the slope, and the point x1, y1 would be given. General form is ax plus by plus your constant equals 0. A vertical line would be x equals x equals a number. And then horizontal line would be y equals a constant, y equals b. All right, so let's practice this. This is our first learning target. I can use slope to graph a linear function. I can use slope to graph a linear function. All right, so the first thing you need to do is make sure the equation is in the slope-intercept form. So it's in that y equals mx plus b form first. So step 1 is to get y by itself. So we have that y equals mx plus b form. So let me check over here. Y is by itself, so this would be my slope and this would be my y-intercept. So now I can determine the y-intercept and plot that. And plot. Okay, so my y-intercept, my b, is this 1. So that would be at the point 0, 1. So I know the line is going to cross here at positive 1 on the y-axis. So I've got that plotted. Now I'm going to use my slope to find the other points. The other points on the line. So my slope is negative 1/2. Slope is rise over run. In this case, we are going down because it's negative. So down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2, and then finally I'm going to draw my graph. Okay, let's try another one. So number 2 is given in the general form, so I want to get y by itself to put it in slope-intercept form. So I will subtract this 3x from both sides and subtract this 4 from both sides. And then I'll have negative 2y equals negative 3x minus 4. Then I can divide everything by negative 2 and simplify. All right, so now it is in my y equals mx plus b in my slope-intercept form. So I'm going to determine my y-intercept, which is 2, and plot it. And then I'll use my slope to find my next lines. Up 1, 2, 3 over 2. Then I can reverse that and go down 3, left 2, 3 over 2. And I've got my line. All right, you try 3 and 4 on your own. Go ahead and pause the video and do that now. All right, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We are finding the slope of the line passing through each pair of points. So that's our learning target. I can find the slope of the line passing through each pair of points. All right. So first we want to determine what is my x1, y1, and my x2, y2. So I have x1, y1 for my first pair, ordered pair, and x2, y2 for the second ordered pair. Now I'm going to plug it into my slope formula, which is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Make sure you put the y's on the top and the x's on the bottom. Change in y over change in x. You can also do y1 minus y2 and x1 minus x2. That gives you the same answer. So to find the slope, I'm going to do y minus y over x minus x. And now I just have to simplify. So that would be negative 6 over negative 3, which is just positive 2. Now a couple things to note here. If you get a 0 in the denominator here, that becomes an undefined slope. So it's undefined if you have a 0 in the denominator. Another thing to note is if you have a 0 in the numerator on top, then the slope is just 0. So 0 in numerator, then slope is 0. Okay. All right, so you can try the rest of those on your own and then check them with the posted key in Google Classroom. All right, next one. Use the given conditions to write an equation for each line and point slope form and general form. So that is our learning target. The next one, I can, and then you have the rest there. So we need to find 3 different forms. We need to find point slope. We need to find the y equals mx plus b, and then general form. So let's find the point slope first. So the first thing I want to do is determine or label x1, y1, and x2, y2. In this case, I only have one. So I have x1, y1 here. If you are given 2 points, like in 10 and 11, you would do this step because you would have to find the slope. So this is to find slope first if needed. So on 10 and 11, your first, after you label your x1, y1, x2, y2, you would then find the slope with the formula we just practiced in the last section, okay? But this one, we're given the slope. We're given our m equals -2 here. So then we can go to the next step, which is to plug it into the point slope formula. And that's the y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So let's go ahead and do that. Y minus 5 equals -2 times x minus -2. Okay, then we're going to simplify that down. The only thing I can do here is make this positive. So y minus 5 equals -2 times x plus 2. And so that is my point slope form. So that's what I was trying to find there. Now I want to find the slope intercept form. So to do that, we're just simply going to get y by itself. So we can find that slope intercept form, that y equals mx plus b. Okay, so let's do that. So I'm going to distribute this -2 first. And then I'll just add 5 to both sides. And then now y is by itself. And I have my slope intercept form. Okay, lastly, we need to get it into general form. So to do that, if you have any fractions, you must clear those first. I don't have any fractions in this one, but let's put that in our notes. Clear fractions. Then move everything equal to 0. Okay, so let's do that. No fractions to clear, so now I can move everything equal to 0. So remember, general form is ax plus by plus c equals 0. So I'm going to put my x term first. When I move it over, it will become positive. When I move the 1 over, it will become negative. All right, let's do one more of these. Let's do number 10. So for this one, I'm given 2 points, x1, y1, x2, y2. So I need to find my slope first. That's y minus y over x minus x. Simplify that. And I get 1/2 for my slope. Now I can plug it into my point slope form. Now there's 2 answers that you can have for the point slope form, depending on what point you use. So I'll show you both of them. If you use this first point, it would look like this. Y minus 5 equals 1/2 times x plus 2. If you use the second point, it would look like y minus 8 equals 1/2 times x minus 4. So there's your point slope form. Now, when you convert these to slope intercept form, you're going to end up with the same answer. It's the same line. So depending on which one you use, it doesn't matter, because when you put it into slope intercept form, you end up with the same equation. So I'm going to go ahead and just use this top one here. Okay, so running out of room here. So I'm going to use the top one, and then I'm just getting y by itself. Okay, now to get y by itself, you could distribute that fraction, and then you end up with a fraction here. I think that I would suggest clearing. You know what? No, let's not do that. Let's just distribute it. Scratch that. So 1/2 x plus 1, this is what you end up with, and then add the 5. So this does work out nicely. Okay, perfect. All right, now we have the slope-intercept form. Lastly, we need to get it into general form. That's that ax plus by plus c equals 0. So for this, where am I here? Right here, I'm on step 4. You must clear your fractions first. So to clear the fractions, you're going to multiply by the denominator here. So my denominator is 2, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. Kind of messed up my answer there. But it would be 2y equals, and then those cancel out. So you just are left with x, and then plus 12 there. You got to distribute it. And then just divide everything by 2. Oh wait, no, sorry. I'm not doing slope-intercept form. I'm doing general. Okay, general. Sorry about that. General is when you move all of them equal to 0. My brain always wants to do slope-intercept. It always wants to do slope-intercept because to me that is the most useful form. However, that's not what we're doing. We're doing general. So clear the fractions. So you multiply by the denominator. We multiplied by 2. Distribute that 2. Those canceled out, got rid of that fraction. And then 6 times 2 is 12. Now, we're going to move everything over to one side so it's equal to 0 so it can be in general form. Again, sorry about that delay there. All right, so negative x plus 2y minus 12 equals 0. There is the general form. All right, you try number 11 and check it with the key.